Welcome back to another Overwatch Coach VOD review. Today we're going to be VOD reviewing a Kiriko who writes, "Hey, I was hoping I'd be able to post the code to a replay where it was on Blizzard World, and I'm a support main that plays Kiriko, Ana, and Brig. In this game, I only played Kiriko. I've peaked Diamond 3 a few seasons ago, but have been stuck in Plat since. Any tips or advice would be appreciated." So, okay. Alright, looks like I grabbed a bad spot here because we've already got a death and a low support. But anyway, this is our Kiriko. So, let's see what we've got here. So, starting off on Kiriko is fine. In this role, you would be looking at being the main healer because you're next to an Illari. Kiriko's got ranged heals, although they're a little slow, so you're going to have to kind of be careful with the Winston. Let the Illari hopefully kind of keep up with the DPS a little bit. Hopefully they're kind of playing near the pylon. I like Illari on this map on defense, so as long as you guys are playing around the pylon, I like this team comp. The one thing I will say, and obviously you don't know this yet, but because you haven't seen what the enemy team's running, but there's nothing to cleanse at the moment. So I don't know, maybe that'll change as the game goes on. But when there's nothing to cleanse, unless you're just really feeling Kiriko for some reason, I would question why be Kiriko when you could probably be something else. The other thing I will throw out there is there's not a lot of value on your team for her ultimate. I think Sojourn obviously would get the most out of your ult, but maybe just being a completely different support might benefit your team a little bit more. You say you play Ana. Ana might be good here over Kiriko. So it might just be a hero selection issue for you. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get into the game.
See ya. Draw strength from nature. Hi, sunshine.
So remember what I said. You got to be careful with the Winston. You're on a little bit of a delayed heal because Kiriko's healing takes a little while to get there, especially when you're healing a dive tank. Kiriko can do it, but you might have to kind of overheal a little bit in order to do it because there's that delay between pressing the heal button and your tank actually getting the heals. And that's kind of what happened here. And now your tank is scrambling and, you know, the Illari can only do so much to heal that, and then he dies. And then the whole fight gets lost. So when your job is main heals, in this case, you really got to be hyper focused on what your tank is doing, and pretty much what everybody's doing. Some Illaris, you're talking about a Plat Illari right here. Some Illaris just don't heal much at all. We VOD reviewed an Illari not that long ago. I might have VOD reviewed 2 Illaris now, but one of the things I like to focus on with Illari is moving the pylon around so that, one, the enemy team can't always just immediately know where it is and kill it, but 2, kind of move it so that it's healing people. Because you can get a lot of value out of that pylon if you kind of micromanage it, and a lot of Illaris that I find don't do a lot of that. So when you're playing next to an Illari, in your case, if your Illari is not doing something like that, you often basically find yourself almost in a solo healing situation. I don't know if this Illari is going to be doing that or not, but the point I'm trying to make is you really got to be hyper focused on what you're doing for healing your team. So, you know, you kind of lose track of your Winston here. You're doing what you can. Hopefully Winston backs off and does you a favor, and he dives in at 1 HP. but he gets the kill.
New dawn for you.
And you got him good. So, alright. You're able to kind of scramble together and you kept your tank going. That's good. Just kind of like to see you maybe stay with him a little bit more. Okay, good. You're spamming voice lines. You're doing your communications. I like that. It's a good opportunity to get a little damage in. I like that.
Not so fast. You take a lot of damage, huh?
You're getting DPS heavy now. Okay, good. Transitioning back to heals. Careful that you're not frontlining. A little bit of a quicker rotation backwards could have been good because you took a little unnecessary damage there. Which could have went south. Luckily it didn't. Heal your Illari, heal your Illari, heal. Oh boy. You weren't keeping track. Heal your Illari.
Your prayers are answered.
That was excessive. You did not need to dive in to an ulting Winston. I mean, who's at like 3/4 health, maybe just slightly under that. That you got yourself killed there. All you needed to do is just hang around the cart, throw some damage, throw some healing, and just that's it. Because when you're over in this area, you can wall climb out and be difficult to hit. The Winston might give you trouble, but you know, sometimes just fighting, delaying the cart, die on cart, sometimes that's the best thing. Because if you're doing that, this thing ain't moving. Yeah, I like what your Winston did there. I would have liked to have seen you do kind of mirror that mentality there. So you could wall climb over that to get to your tank a little quicker. He came to you. Make sure you're healing. Heal. So that teleport puts you in a rough spot. Luckily you got out. Good hit, good hit. So like right there, what I would have liked to have seen is you more focusing on healing the tank and let the Illari heal the Hanzo there.
The goddess is here. Hey, the sunlight.
I'm honestly surprised Winston didn't die there. I was expecting him to die there. So they're starting to go heroes that counter Winston now. They've got Reaper. Honestly, that's really about it. That's countering it. But Reaper could potentially be enough if you're not careful with it.
No one can stop me.
Restoring balance. Tyson, let the Kitsune guide you! On your horizon!
You can climb up there. You can climb up that pole. I think you can climb up the tree too, actually, but you can definitely climb up the pole. You can wall ride up there. I say wall ride because I'm a Lucio main, so... But if I ever say wall climb for wall ride, that's what I mean. It's just ingrained in me to say that. So,
On your horizon.
So I like that you're poking here. You know, you're throwing out some healing. I don't know that I would be ulting here. The reason why I say that is because your DPS are on the ground. and it's just Winston and you, and I think Alari's there, but she's like jumping backwards and diving off. So this ultimate is basically Winston and you versus what looks like the entire enemy team. What I would have done is waited until they start coming down and attacking, trying to take position on the cart. That way your DPS can get value from it. Because now you've got Hanzo and Bastion. They get value a lot more from your ultimate than some of the DPS you were running with beforehand. Specifically the Bastion. Yeah, because alt tracking. You got to alt track, right? So you know you haven't seen the enemy Winston alt. So if you alt into a diving Winston, right, and he hasn't alted in a while, you'll get him low, but then he alts and boom, now he's got a bazillion HP and he's going to just start punching people around and doing all kinds of crazy shit, right? So your ultimate didn't get any value there. Everybody's moving. Like, honestly, you should have stayed up here because you could have at least gotten some makeshift value. You could just be hyper fast healing from up here. Getting value from your ultimate, trying to make anything happen. Like, you could solo heal from up here. You could heal the Bastion. You could heal the Winston.
On your horizon.
But now, coming down here, you kind of put yourself out of the fight.
The battle ignites.
Maybe you can keep the DPS going at least. Oh. Yeah. Like, honestly, staying up there was probably your best shot at making that work. It was a tall task though, but
Scanning. Let the dragon consume you.
Rise like the sun.
your Bastion needs heals. Your Bastion needs heals. You can't heal through a Winston bubble.
I've got you.
So, the one thing, I don't know that if you've picked up on this or not, but the one thing is when you have Bastions on your team, they are bullet magnets. They just soak up the damage. You almost have to treat Bastion as another tank because they're going to take a lot of damage. They're just a big boxy target. Torbjorn's another one.
Behind you. Guys over.
Very easy target to hit. Reaper is another one. May would be another one. You know, some of these like pseudo tank slash DPS characters, you really got to be hyper focusing on where they are, what they're doing. Are they taking damage? Do they have healing coming their way or not? Because if they don't, they're probably going to need it. So you kind of really got to be in heal bot mode and with a team comp like this. Because your Winston's playing into a hard counter right now with the Reaper. Typically speaking, Bastion counters Winston more than Reaper counters Winston. But in this scenario, the Winston has to come to the Reaper. So I kind of like the Reaper over the Bastion. Typically, I like Bastion over Reaper when Winston is a problem. But don't get me wrong, either can work, either will likely work, but I think in this scenario, the Reaper is going to be better because the Winston's coming to, the Winston's coming to the Reaper, as opposed to Bastion's going to have to kind of force his hand forward, which means your Bastion's probably going to need more healing. Especially when you're playing with an Alari. I really kind of would like to see your Alari swapped. And this is another thing I've covered before, but I'll just say it here too for anybody that likes playing Alari. If you play Alari into Winston, you're being hard countered. Alari does not do much to Winston. She really doesn't do much to his shield. Oh, you had to have seen that coming. Alt tracking is not something, that is definitely not your strong suit. That's 2 ultimates now you did not see coming at all.
We've got this.
Touching down.
When you see a Reaper just aggressively pushing forward, that means he has his ultimate.
Burn right for me. The battle
Good kill.
ignites me.
Yeah, you needed your E right there. You wasted your E before that.
Be healed.
This is the one spot where your Alari could probably out-heal you at this point, and you might be able to kind of DPS a little bit more. What is your Winston doing?
30 seconds.
Your Winston really needs to swap, frankly, but... yeah, your Winston dying there just cost you guys the point unless you somehow pull this out, which I don't think you will. Oh. Oh, he's back. Azarissa! Too little, too late.
I don't give up that easily.
Alright, you guys got it down to 6 seconds. You easily... if that Winston did not feed there, you easily could have got it to overtime, I think. But... only thing I could have said there is just being a little bit more attentive to what your tank is doing and keep him alive. I wouldn't have expected my tank to do what he did there either, and I'm guessing that's why you didn't do that. So...
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Trouble's here. Under my protection.
Blue tank.
On your horizon, like a gentle rain.
So, the only thing I would say here is... like, right around here, take a couple DPS shots. Well, maybe not a couple, but you could have snuck a DPS shot or 2 in there. Like, everything right here you're doing is just trying to keep this Winston alive, right? Like... but you had a couple opportunities in that push to get at least, like, 1 shot off. And maybe you land a headshot, and then suddenly somebody's really low and they gotta back off, or maybe the Winston can finish them off from there. And that's how your team gets a quick pick and suddenly gets a huge advantage.
Your day just got made.
Yeah, so... I don't know, your Winston's definitely not doing you guys any favors. He's being a little too aggressive. Like, what that Winston should be doing, what I would like to see, is like, when he goes up here to dive, he should just play the edge. And then that way, Ana and you can heal him from down here. And then as they get pushed back, then you just wall climb up here, and then you can DPS, you can heal, and then if you get dove, you can teleport away. You teleported up here, and then you lost your escape route. So, just throwing that out there. Where are you?
Your day just got made.
See, teleporting up there wasn't the move. You should have wall climbed up there. And then as they start to go at you, you've got your escape routes behind you instead of you just dropping down and dying.
I don't give up that easily. 回復する。
You could ping that.
Under my protection.
Disrupting.
Objective secured. Let's go.
I'm here. I'm on the objective.
Could have got a punch off on that, Lucio.
我が敵を食らう
I don't know why you didn't teleport there.
I'm on the objective. もう大丈夫。
我が敵を食らう
So like, right about here, you can't win this. There's too much. Don't have a savior complex and think you can just save everybody. This is a lost situation. You could teleport to your Winston right now and then keep him going, or get out together.
Done playing around. Kokoyo. My ultimate is ready. Feels like sewing, huh?
Same thing as before. We're not gonna linger on it, but same thing. Wall climb.
I'm on fire.
I'll just keep on rising.
Okay, good.
Pressure answered. The kitsune is
Moved
ready to be
spawns, that's good.
The breeze brings relief.
Considering you have absolutely nothing else to cleanse, if you wanted to be aggressive and cleansing when Ashe sets somebody on fire, I'd personally be fine with it because you're essentially denying ult charge at that point. Granted, she has ult here, but I'm talking about just throughout the game. Like, if you find yourself playing Kiriko, nothing else to debuff, I'm usually pretty aggressive with that. Just makes their time to get Bob take longer, but yeah, you were just completely caught off guard there.
The day's not over yet. Activating self-destruct sequence. My ult 3, 2, let the kitsune guide you. Do something. Kokoyo.
Get out, all the way out.
Behind you.
もう大丈夫。See ya.
我が敵を食らう Vamos esculachar!
This is not a fight to be picking. You're down a guy who's just now respawning, so
My gift to you.
did you have that? I wasn't looking. You could have gotten that out a little bit sooner, but probably doesn't make a difference, frankly.
What did we learn?
Kill. Okay. DPS get nanoed and win the fight. anything like cleansing
Be
that?
resplendent. Soothing your wounds.
You get a double cleanse. The Ash doesn't build so much ult charge. Like, how much did she get off of that?
Be resplendent. And what did we learn? Let's move. I'm with you.
She's at 33. Goes immediately to 40.
Be resplendent. Soothing your wounds.
So from 33 to 50. Had you have cleansed that, probably take like 5 to 10% off of that. Somewhere in there, I don't know. It's 4:43 in the morning. I'm tired. I'm not in a position to do quick maths right now, but okay, I like that you're poking a little bit. You're the off support at the moment, so that's totally fine. Getting your off angles is good. It should be a good ult, frankly. Don't be afraid to climb. You're not really climbing at all.
I've got you.
Cleanse that, cleanse that.
Silly human.
I don't get why you're not cleansing these Ash Dynamites, like, at all.
Thanks.
Good
Come
kill.
on, Shimada.
Although I think he gave himself up, but whatever.
Restoring balance.
Still landed the headshot. Good for the stats. You keep getting caught unaware of these Hanzo dragons.
Oh, I feel all warm inside. What's up?
Okay, good job getting out. Wait for your team. Don't poke. You have to be careful not to poke before a team fight because they're running Hanzo. One stray headshot and now you've just cost your team a bunch of times, so just be careful of that. See, I would cleanse. Yeah, okay, there you go. Now you did it. I just would have been a little closer to my team there. And another thing, you know Ash is up here, so why are you in their field of view? Get out of this field of view.
Nerf this. Time to come out of my cave.
Your team needs to get out, get out, get out. Okay, good. Good cleanse. Sombra died way too early. Now you're forced to fight 4v5. You got a heal bot here. You got a heal bot here. Your reaction times are a little slow. You could have got that out a little sooner, and you might have maybe been able to save those two. So I would have cleansed right here. So cleansing the Ana is going to give her extra health because she's on fire. When you cleanse a debuff, they get more healing out of it. Now's not the time to be picking fights and duels. Your team needs healing. The longer you can contest the cart to try to push it, the better odds of you winning the game. So I'm going to say react. Your reaction time feels a little slow at key moments. 2 alt. say alt optimization. You weren't always getting the best optimizations from your alts. 3, I'll say TC for team comp. Did you really need to be Kiriko on the first round? Second round felt a little bit better of a situation for Kiriko, which would lead me to my fourth point. Debuff. Ashe. That's an E. In that scenario, you could have been debuffing the Ashe a little bit more, keeping her from spitting out bobs a little less frequently, making her work for it a little bit more. And then number 5, wall climb. I barely saw you wall climb, which led to some positioning issues, mainly in escapability routes. But these are some of the main points that I think if you start working on, you'll start climbing again. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.